Hi, my name's Chris Rogers. I'm a current PSIA-AASI National Team member, and I'm also a snowboard, freestyle, and children's educator and examiner in the Rocky Mountain Division. I'm also an instructor and trainer at Vail Mountain, and this is my application video for the 2020 National Team selection process. So, last week I was over in Minnesota working for Central Division, leading a clinic at Highland Hills, and I was trying to shoot some video on the chairlift. And what I realized was I'm really not quite as skilled at shooting live video. So trying to just have a conversation with you and not rely on editing and all the post-production stuff that we usually do with videos. I might not be Hallie O'Brien, but I think I can shoot 5 minutes worth of video and talk about what it means to be on the team. For those of you that don't know me, I'm from Fairbanks, Alaska. I was born and raised in Alaska, grew up skiing and snowboarding there, and kind of winter is basically the way of life there. I went to school in Fairbanks, and then after college moved to Steamboat. In Steamboat, I was kind of looking for a job there, and somebody was like, well, you like snowboarding, why don't you try teaching snowboarding? And yeah, that was it. I thought I was going to do it for a year as a job, and I got certified. And 15 years later and 19 seasons, it has been one heck of a ride. And I think that's probably the biggest thing about being on the team that I love, is getting to share that story, and that it doesn't matter if you're in it for 1 year, 5 years, or 10 years. This is a industry, and it's a sport, and it's a career that will teach you lessons that you can use anywhere. My friend Nick and I started a podcast, All I Really Need to Know I Learned from Snowboarding, and that's really where a lot of the basis of that came from. We all learned a lot through this career that we've applied to all sorts of other areas. One of the common questions I get when I'm on the road, and this just came up in Central Division last week, is they've heard of the national team, and people kind of oh, you're on the D team or you're on the national team. What exactly is that? So people hear about the team, but they don't necessarily know what we do. And I think even when applying for the team, certainly in 2016, trying out for this term on the team, I had a pretty good idea of some of the things that the team did, but I think most of us are still figuring out what the team does, just as it continues to evolve. And a few of the things that the national team is really involved in is one is connecting disciplines and divisions across the country. So we are one team. We're a national team made up of alpine, snowboard, freestyle, adaptive, telemark, cross country, and we work together to create the next version of education. And so, in 2015 in Ushuaia, that was rolling out the learning connection model and sharing what PSIA and AASI was creating for the future of the organization. And for the last 4 years, we've really worked on building that out farther into teaching skills fundamentals and people skills fundamentals, and showing how teaching skills and people skills are related through that connection between the people, right? So what connects you and I, that's really a people skill, and what connects us to the learning environment, that's a teaching skill. And so, going into Bulgaria and the Pamporovo interski last year, we really worked to build that out and say, this is where the PSIA and ASI teams are coming from. And it really kickstarted this concept of one team, where our goal is to create education that helps instructors share their passion with their guests. And that really is, I think, the biggest piece of why I'm trying out for the team again, is we created some really exciting content. And for the last 4 years, we built and we argued and we passionately discussed and brainstormed and wordsmithed, and we've got this amazing product. And I'm seeking the opportunity to get to be part of the team that helps roll that out. I think the biggest thing that the next team is going to be working on is taking the content, the learning outcomes, the assessment criteria, all of this information that was created that will build the next national standard, and then turn that into the next national standard. And that's going to mean working with disciplines, working with divisions, creating a national assessment form, and building the future of our organization. And I think that's really in the end why we do it. Back to teaching for me this year, it's been back to the roots and just connecting me with why we do this, why we travel and we train, and we're up late hours and we're always trying to come up with what's the way that we're going to help move the organization forward this year. I'm looking for the opportunity to continue doing that for the next 4 years, to pay it forward to the organization, to the membership, and help develop and train the future of our organization. Thank you for watching my video, and I look forward to seeing you in Breckenridge for the On Snow selections.